Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about the new episode of Vanderpump Rules, Season 11, Episode 5. Let's get right into it.
I know I hurt James. I'm taking accountability for that, and I'm sorry, James.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I want to acknowledge his feelings.
Okay, this was actually a pretty good episode. So we start by seeing some B footage of the people in their homes, doing their thing, going places. The actual first scene is James driving with the dog that he got last week. The dog used to be shared between him and Raquel. I feel like they were trying to shame Raquel as if she were a bad owner. And I do remember her mentioning something about this dog back in the I was gonna say back in the day, but like back when all this was happening in real time. We see Ariana and Katie as well, and they are going through a lot as far as this restaurant. Things are not going as planned, which is not a surprise considering who their exes are. And not for nothing, but opening and managing a restaurant is not for the weak, and these girls look lazy. Also, they are really happy that they're not gonna go to this trip with all the other people. So then James gets home, he introduces the dog to Allie, and she is kind of acting weird about it. James is saying that the dog just needs to be trained, but because the dog barked at the cat, Allie GBT is mad and says, "I don't like this." Okay, we see Schwartz and Sandy shopping for the trip that they're about to go to. They just got a notification on their phone of Raquel announcing that she will now officially go by the name Rachel and that she's out of the facility. Tom Sandoval already knew this because he had sent her a message, but he thinks that her not responding to him, especially because his birthday just passed, is showing him that they're probably not going to end up continuing to date. They also plan for this trip to go down smoothly. The same thing for Scheana and Brock. They go buy some stuff as well. Scheana says that she's anxious for leaving her daughter, but also spending time in a house with Sandoval. That gives her anxiety. I don't know why being with Sandoval will give her anxiety. I think that's a reach. So Scheana says that she let go of the nanny that they had initially gotten, that they hired, and that's pissing Brock off a lot. I honestly see a possible divorce in the future. I hope not, but they began arguing a little too loud and a little too much over this nanny, and because Sheena's mom's going to be taking care of the daughter again. And I get what Scheana was saying. She was saying that when they go out of town, she wants the daughter to be with her mom. That's what she feels the most comfortable with, and that's totally understandable. But then he starts to scream at the top of his lungs and saying that this is all because of her trauma with her mom and because her mom makes her feel like she's not good enough. It was embarrassing to the point that Scheana had to leave the store. Schwartz goes over to Katie's, and then some people start packing for the Tahoe trip. It's going to be interesting. The way people are talking, you would think they were going to meet the Antichrist because they were all so nervous and anxious. Now, this I loved. LVP and Ken obviously were also going to go, right? But they went on a private jet. Meanwhile, the rest of them went on a regular plane. So once in Tahoe, Lisa is doing a photo shoot with some wolves. That's crazy. But it's because she's doing she's going to open a new restaurant over there, and like it's going to be like wolf themed. Then Sandoval calls Lisa to tell her that he's really surprised on how well he was received by the people at the airport. And then when he's on the car with Schwartz, tears begin to roll down his face. It was so sad. He felt emotional. He felt some sort of acceptance when she just simply said hi to him. But then they arrived to Lake Tahoe. They got a huge Airbnb, very nice. They pick out the room. Schwartz is so happy that the energy is great. Meanwhile, in their room, Scheana and Brock are arguing about laundry and who put a white piece with a pink piece. Oh my gosh, too much. Down in the kitchen, Sandoval talks to Brock, and Brock tells him that there's a lot of conversations that the others want to have with him because they want to be heard. He says that the scandal messed up a lot of the friendships, and Sandoval says that when he and Raquel did that horrible thing, he understands it was horrible, but he says that it wasn't malicious to intentionally hurt anyone of the group, but he does feel like members of the group have done things to maliciously affect him and Raquel. And Sandoval says in his confessional, do they think I'm gonna come grovel at their feet when they literally sold merch? They went on podcast after podcast, they spread conspiracy theories. They just need to move on as a collective. They all go outside, and Sandoval tells him that he actually brought a meditation specialist to guide them on some yoga exercises the next day. He says that it's actually really helped him to better himself. It even helped him like to not drink as much, and Lala kind of connects with him on that. He's clearly trying to make the conversation just kind of flow naturally. Then Lisa strolls in with the dog. They're all like, "What? Is this a joke? Oh my gosh." Sandoval, though, he was biting his tongue as James was giving his explanation of how the dog was brought back to him. Although Allie did ask Sandoval kind of quietly about the dog, and Sandoval says that the dog did bite a few people. That's why it was turned into a shelter. But then they have a lot of fun. All of them jump on the water, they're swimming, they're just having a good time. But back in California, Ariana is FaceTiming someone, and she's talking about the house. She says that she won't be bought out because she has bought some of the furniture. She starts to literally go around the entire house and like point to every piece of furniture that there is, and she says that she's gonna write a list down. Listen, it's a nice big house considering that it's in California, in Los Angeles to be exact. They go back inside over there in the trip, and James did mention to Allie that he saw her talking to Tom. I was like, be careful, James, because she might stray too. But she just wanted to, get the info out of the dog and Rachel. Also, Brock apologized to Scheana for screaming at her the way that he did. The group then goes over to Lisa's new restaurant that she's going to be opening up. But this place still has a long way to go. Like, it's practically nothing right now. But they say that this is going to be Lisa's biggest restaurant. So that's going to be, because she actually showed them some concept pictures, and it looks like it's going to be beautiful. But for now, they all get hammers and punch the walls to release their frustration. So, for example, Scheana grabs it and she says, "Restraining order," and then she hits the wall. Schwartz says, "I don't want to be 40 and single," and he hits the wall. Sandoval, on the other hand, it was kind of funny because he started to say all the insults that people in the group said about him. Then they go to eat. Lisa joined them again. It's been about 6 hours, and Lisa has already had 3 outfit changes. So Lisa says that it's kind of it kind of made her sad to hear that Schwartz says that he hates being 40 and single. He says that it's not that bad as it sounds, but he feels like he's not ready. Although I do think that he's struggling with that secretly. There was a brief moment of awkwardness, and then Lisa made it even more awkward when she says, "Well, James, tell us one thing that you like about Sandoval." Really awkward. Brock, and I think James, and he just ended up saying, "Well, we're here together." That was his answer. Brock did ask Sandoval about the house situation, and he said that he made Ariana an offer, but she hasn't taken it, and they still haven't talked since the reunion. He says, "I don't know if I believe that, but this was a good dinner, I guess." Then they go to a bar later that night, and I'm guessing this is where that video was posted like months ago when filming started, when everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, they're hanging out with Sandoval again." But they're having a good time. James is making little passive aggressive comments, but Sandoval can tell that this is James being hurt. Like, this is his way of expressing that. So they go, and again they're talking about this whole thing. It kind of began like it did last time that they talked. James was kind of antagonizing him. Sandoval was taking no responsibility. James says that it would have been so simple for Sandoval to just simply break up with Ariana first and then get with Raquel. Sandoval says that that's easier said than done. Then James asks him if he will continue to date Rachel, and Sandoval says probably not. But then they were able to calm down. They lowered their tones, and James said that he just didn't see this coming from Tom. Like, that was the last person he would have ever thought would do something like this. And Sandoval apologizes. He says that he acknowledges to hurting James. And James even says that he misses the good times. And I'm sure he does. I mean, it's been 10 years of friendship. How could you not? So James says that Tom was like a big brother to him. And that's why he's been feeling so angry, and he's been feeling like it was a betrayal. I love this conversation, not only because they kind of made up in a way, but this is a good example of effective communication. James was truly able to say what he was feeling and what was hurting him, and Sandoval, for once, received it without being combative about it. So it's going to be interesting. Next week looks like maybe there will be some more conversations going on that will make people want to be friends with Sandoval again. But of course, Scheana's going to get on the FaceTime telling Ariana, like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to do." And Ariana, she is, listen, I'll just say this: Ariana and Katie were not missed in this trip. I'll say that much. But y'all, let me know your thoughts about the trip, about Sandoval rekindling his friendships with these people. Let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.